Yes. I was thinking of that contempt of court. Yes. And I was in this Black's Law Dictionary. Yeah. And they have what's known as the wheel conspiracy. Oh. A conspiracy in which a single member or group, the hub, separately agrees with two or more other members or groups, the spokes. The person or group in the hub is the only party liable for all the conspiracies. Oh, the rimless wheel conspiracy, the circle conspiracy, the hub and spoke conspiracy. Yes. Now there's what's known as seditious conspiracy. A criminal conspiracy to forcibly overthrow or destroy the United States government, oppose its authority, prevent the execution of its laws, or seize or possess its property, 18 USC Code 2384. Yeah. Now, I had documented that I hadn't gotten notice during those dissolution of marriage hearings. Yeah. And you said, well, she sent it to him and he didn't get it and he should motion the court if he has a problem. Ouch. But I think the court has an obligation to make the petitioner inform them when they do serve the respondent so they can finalize the dissolution within that or after that 6 months. It could be within the 6 months, but there is this whole concept of getting the actual document. Now, these parenting arrangements that you finalized in 2013, yes, where the mail was returned unclaimed 2 days after the court hearing, yes. And I documented that. See, when the mail is returned unclaimed, yes, exactly what was sent to me. Was it something that required a signature? Meaning, well, where did you send it? Did somebody else get my dissolution of marriage and has been sitting there for the last, 5 years, 5.5 years? Saying, well, I did open it and there's the dissolution, but they said, does not reside here or no longer at this address. I gotta talk to you. I'd like to see the envelope of that. Now, I would think, okay, that this whole concept of no is not at this address. You know how you just write on the outside of the envelope, yes, not here, and there's no possible way that can use as a grounds to change the parenting arrangement. Yes. Three. Okay. If a parent is found in contempt of court, uh, that it is important to know found in contempt more than once in a 3 year period. Oh, I thought it was three times in 1 year. Now, when you think about it, okay, it's just more than once in 3 years. Ooch. Now, somebody was saying, well, actually, I being arrested, yes, for crimes I didn't commit, puts me in contempt of court more than once in 3 years. Yeah, conspiracy to defraud. Ooch, a secret plan by two or more people to cheat a person or organization. You're not defrauding me of my rights, are you? Now, I am known as a person, a citizen, yeah, a civilian. Yeah, now, have you defrauded me of my parenting rights for over 7 years? When I made these pictures for you, it is contempt of court to motion the court for default dissolution of marriage. Not give me a copy of the dissolution, so that my right to appeal would have been protected. Now, you're sitting there thinking that, well, actually, she committed contempt of court how many times in 3 years? If I looked at each of the dissolutions, okay, exactly how many times is it a contempt of court? Yes, to not serve the respondent. Pooch. Well, here's one. And here's two. Ooch. And here's three. Yes. And then you decide to issue it when you arrest me at the same moment. Ooh, there's four. Ooch. See, you can't just say he broke the protection order when I was found not guilty of violating it. Yes, yes. And then this minute order, you know, going through the RCWs of the state of Washington, I'm sure that most judges in the state of Washington and possibly other states, they have laws in other states, yes. And problem with file retry. Oh, um, is there some reason why it is that? Oops, did somebody? Well, when you don't do what the law requires, it's a contempt of court. Mhm. Now, when I say that you violated my civil rights 40 to 50 times over the last 7 years, yes. How many of those times could be counted as contempt of court? There's some reason why the court can't reverse their decision. You won't allow for my sons to call me, and you would say that if I was. Oh, what about contempt of court? Yes. And then, hang on just a second here. Yeah. Let's see what the RCW say. If the order expires because timely service cannot be made, yeah, the court shall grant an ex parte order of protection as provided in RCW. Yes. Then the court shall grant the petition for renewal unless the respondent proves by a preponderance of the evidence that the respondent will not resume acts of domestic violence against the petitioner. See, it doesn't look like you thought of me as the respondent. Since I never committed any child abuse or domestic violence, is there any possible way I could resume the act of domestic violence? My wife abducted my sons on July 2nd of 2011. You issued a protection order, yes, where I wasn't given any due process. Oh. Then you reissued the protection order after she had motioned the court for dissolution of marriage. Uh, oh, um, well, how the shall household members, when the order expires, the order may renew the protection order for another fixed time period or may enter a permanent order as provided in this section. Now, when are you going to get it through your thick skulls? Okay, that I never committed any domestic violence. I was never given any timely service. Oh, the petitioner didn't sign it. Oh, there are forgeries. Oh, remove the order. Now, is Clallam County? Well, let's see what this picture says. You cannot give the personal identity to any person that the court order does not specify. You remember the guy that served me in the Swim Public Library? Oh, the additional service on August 27th. Exactly who got that? And the wrongful execution law requires the obligation to remove it. And my name from the docket in Jefferson County, it's kind of like if there is no protection order, you can't prosecute me for violating it. Now, there was it says here whenever no contact order is issued, modified, or terminated, the clerk of the court shall forward a copy of the order on and before the next judicial day to the appropriate, yes, law enforcement agency. Now, when the clerk forwarded this to the sheriff's department, did you give that to the person to serve me? Well, isn't that a contempt of court when it's a wrongful execution of service? Wasn't it? Well, it is a contempt of court, isn't it? See, let's look at the contempt of the actual court order. The sheriff's department is guilty of contempt of court and wrongful execution of service. The sheriff, you're guilty of contempt of court and wrongful execution of service. When you don't do what court orders say, you're guilty of contempt of court. Clallam County Sheriff's Office. Please, where the restrained person lives, which shall personally serve the restrained person. Now, when it says shall personally serve the restrained party with a copy of this order, it does not say you're going to give this to some third party that has no legal right. Now, you are getting sued, okay, for not personally serving me, the restrained party, with a copy of that order. Yes, yes, yes. And not completing and returning in the name of the Clallam County Sheriff's Office court proof of service. Now, when you don't give the actual, well, not only is it a wrongful execution of the order, it's a contempt of the fucking court. Now, when I tell you you're getting sued, okay, Sheriff Bill Benedict, Sheriff Stanko, both of you can find yourselves in prison for not. Yeah, you can. Now, my whole thought is if a large number of sheriffs in both Clallam and Jefferson County went to prison for having knowledge of contempt, I got it.